turns out that the mountains around us are not rocks at all, but sleeping giants, and one of them suddenly woke up. Now the whole side is in a panic, and scientists and the military need to decide what to do with it. Destroy it or make friends. A young girl named Nora climbs to the top of one of the highest mountains in Norway. It's very dangerous, and at some point, Nora breaks down and hangs on her gear. She is teased by her father Tobias, who rises with her. They finally reach the top and admire the incredible scenery. Tobias says that there is a wall of trolls in front of them. According to legend, these are not mountains, but a sleeping troll that has been turned into stone. At first, the girl doesn't believe it, but then she looks closer and notices something strange. The mountains really look like the silhouettes of trolls. It's good that they're sleeping. 20 years have passed. Archaeological excavations are being carried out on the coast of Norway. We can see that Nora has become an experienced paleontologist. She finds fossils under the layer of earth that look like the bones of a real giant. Meanwhile, construction work begins in the mountains of Dobra. They want to build a railway here. Local activists are protesting, demanding to preserve wildlife, but no one listens to them. Construction workers are digging a huge tunnel in the middle of the mountains and using explosives to expand it. When the workers enter this tunnel, they hear some kind of rumbling and growling. They immediately run to the exit, and some unknown monster rushes after them. An emergency situation is being declared at the operational headquarters of the Norwegian Armed Forces. The military immediately board their planes and set off on a good journey. The situation is reported to the Prime Minister. The huge footprints are clearly visible on the received video frames. Meanwhile, Nora, along with other archaeologists, celebrates her most successful day at the dig. A military helicopter lands nearby. Several armed soldiers get out of it and demand Nora to go with them to Oslo. Nora communicates with the Prime Minister's advisor named Andreas, as well as with other politicians and the military. She is an experienced paleontologist, and it is important for the authorities to hear her opinion. A woman is shown a video shot by one of the activists. It looks like people were attacked by an unknown monster. An elderly couple is having lunch in a small house near Mount Dobe and notices that their dog is nervous and barking loudly. Soon, everything starts to wobble. People urgently go down to the basement, and meanwhile someone destroys their house. When the old people get out, they see that they no longer have a home. The Prime Minister appoints Nora as a scientific consultant and sends her to the good. Andreas will have to accompany her. During the flight, Nora admits that her father has lost his mind, and they have not communicated for a long time. After landing, Nora is greeted by Captain Christopher Holm, or simply Chris. The military reports that an unknown monster crossed the valley and went south. Our heroes communicate with an elderly couple whose house was destroyed by a huge monster. The old people say that they were attacked by a real mountain. Nora goes to their ruined house. She notices a strange smell near this place, and then sinks into a funnel in the form of a huge footprint. The woman remembers an old tale about trolls and smiles sadly. Our heroes travel south and notice that at some point the tracks disappear. But such a huge monster could not disappear without a trace. Nora visits her father Tobias. This man really looks crazy, and even threatens everyone with his rifle. Nora, Andreas, and Chris enter his house. They tell the old man that an unknown monster came out of the mountain today. Tobias was an expert on folklore, so he could give them some advice. The old man says it was a troll. He tried many times to warn other people about this, but he was locked up in a psychiatric hospital for several years. Now our heroes believe him, so they take Tobias with them. The old man carefully examines the place where the footprints disappear and notices a topographic anomaly. There's a mountain here that shouldn't be here. It turns out that this is not a mountain, but a huge sleeping troll, and Nora and her father accidentally woke him up. Our heroes are running to their helicopter. The troll gets to his feet. It reaches 50 meters in height. Chris contacts the authorities and gives them the video taken from the helicopter. Now everyone understands that it really is a troll. It turns out that he moves at night, but turns into stone during the day, and therefore it is difficult to detect him. The Prime Minister orders the start of a military operation. Nora, Tobias, and Andreas ask Chris for permission to take them with them. It's very dangerous, but the captain agrees. Soon, the troll wakes up, and the military immediately receives an order to use weapons. However, it does not cause much harm to the giant, but only angers and irritates him. Even artillery and tank shots are not capable of knocking him to the ground. Fire doesn't scare him either. The military is retreating, communication with them is interrupted. Some soldiers start to pray. Alas, prayers don't help either. Tobias goes out to the troll and tries to talk to him. At first, it seems that the giant is listening to him attentively. But when the military uses weapons again, the troll gets angry and attacks. In the last seconds of his life, Tobias manages to tell his daughter that the answers to all questions must be sought in the king's palace. Chris informs them that they will use tactical weapons and combat aircraft to stop the troll. Nora recalls the legend that trolls hate Christians and even throw cobblestones at temples so as not to hear the sound of church bells. The woman suggests that the Prime Minister use this sound to scare away the troll. Yes, it sounds crazy, but so far there are no other options anyway. The troll continues on its way. Soon he should reach a large amusement park. People are having fun here and don't suspect anything. Suddenly, everything starts to wobble. Alas, this is not an earthquake, but a real troll. Panic begins in the park. People are running in all directions. Military helicopters appear in the sky. They are not using weapons, but a sound attack using church bells. Alas, instead of scaring the troll away, this enrages the giant even more. The troll destroys everything in its path, knocks down buildings, and even shoots down helicopters. Surprisingly, when one of the downed helicopters falls on a child, the troll grabs it and saves the girl. Nora realizes that she was mistaken. First of all, church bells are bad weapons. Secondly, this troll is smarter than it looks. All the international news agencies broadcast this story all over the world. Meanwhile, the troll continues on his way and will soon reach Donkey, the capital of Norway. The government decides to evacuate the residents of the capital and prepares to use nuclear weapons against the troll. Not everyone likes this option because it can do more harm than good. All the dissenters are immediately fired, including Nora and Andreas. The Prime Minister addresses his people and asks everyone to remain calm. The residents of Oslo must leave the city urgently. Nora remembers her father's words about the royal palace and decides to go there. Andreas rides with her. The guards won't let them inside, but one of the lords named Ricardo Sinding appears near the palace and invites our heroes inside. Sinding reveals the biggest secret to Nora. The site of this palace was once the home of trolls. There is still a huge crypt with the remains of these giants in the dungeon. Hundreds of years ago, all of them were destroyed by order of King Olaf. Perhaps the awakened troll is the last of their kind. So Tobias was right. Trolls lived in Norway until they were destroyed by Christians. And the truth remains only in fairy tales and legends. Nora realizes that the troll is going to Oslo, because his house is located here. She also realizes that this giant is afraid of direct sunlight. Nora contacts Chris, and together they come up with a new plan. Soon, a troll breaks into the capital. A firefight, chaos, and destruction ensues. Conventional weapons don't have much effect. The military is loading nuclear warheads. Andreas contacts a hacker named Sigrid and asks her to hack into the security system and cancel the launch. This girl is a real genius, so she blocks the launch of missiles from planes that have already taken off. Nora, Chris, and a small group of military personnel are also arriving in Oslo. Soon they are joined by another squad. The troll is gradually destroying the city. Nora and Andreas go to him and use the skull of one of the troll children as bait. The troll is following them, and our heroes are trying to take him to the outskirts of the city. There, a group of military men must prepare a trap for him. This is a powerful ultraviolet lamp from local tanning salons. Nora and Andreas notice that they have lost the skull. He rolled out of their truck. The troll finds the skull and looks at it sadly, and then he accidentally drops it. The troll growls desperately. Nora and Andreas are trying to escape from him. The giant chases after them and soon falls under the flashes of ultraviolet lamps. That stops him. Nora suddenly feels very sorry for the last troll on the planet. She turns off the ultraviolet lights and shouts at the giant to go back to the mountains. However, it's already too late. The sun rises in the sky and its rays destroy the giant. The troll turns into a large stone hill. Andreas and Nora talk about whether other trolls can stay in Norway. We see a huge pile of stones in the Dovre Mountains. She starts to move and a deafening roar is heard.